All right, guys, welcome back to the Imaxit YouTube channel. I'm your host JD. If you're new, please do smash that like button, share, and definitely subscribe. If you're new and if you're a member of the channel, massive respect to you. And if you want to become a member, please do click the join button. YouTube will help you along the way. So as you saw by the title, FIFA stepped in. What are we talking about? We're talking about a situation where in which they said people did illegal things and stall a lot of things in order to make one side of the election has a chance, a proper chance to actually win the election. So with that said, everything was pretty much postponed for 28 days. I'm going to try and go into the details that I do have here and give you guys, and then we can have a conversation on it. Because before even things like this happened, a lot of persons said that they wanted Jamaica to get banned to see if we can get things fixed, you know. And at this point, a lot of people saying that no, this is not going to be helpful due to the fact that we just have a good team putting things together, and you teams looking like they have a possibility of doing better, you know. So a lot of things out there. All right, so that's the conversation that we want to have right here. All right, so sources sent in information to state that FIFA have requested all the documentation. So what person stated that was actually illegal, and also the legal documentations as well. And I've even seen Maverick after. So that's the reason why I said I'm going to do this video, because I got the information, but I wanted to see if others would have put it out or talked about it for me to say if it's actually somewhat somewhat valid, you know. Yes, so that is the situation at hand. I'm gonna try and keep in the loop to see what's going on with it, if they're gonna seize everything. All right, so what I've gotten, they are going to try exhaust all of the avenues to make sure it goes on, but actually make it as fair as possible. Because remember, the next side cried wolf to say that it's not fair enough. You understand me? So they are going to try and do everything to make sure it's a fair election. I don't think it's going to be a jump and ban them instant. You understand me? If they do find things that is over the top as to what person stated, then it's possible that they could be banned. But I think they're going to exhaust all of that avenues to make sure at least they can exhaust all avenues to make sure at least the event takes place. But if it's clearly a bad situation beyond repair, then I think that's where you're going to get them banned in Jamaica. All right, obviously I've just talked about some of the top of the iceberg as to the things that Jamaica has good going for them. All right, so for me, as I've said before, I wouldn't want the ban due to the fact that we still have things that can improve a lot of areas. But as you know, if you do fraudery and we have to get banned, I have to stand up and say that, tell you what, clearly they weren't good enough, so we have to just make it roll on. Because we can't just say, okay, look, we have the good team, and if you break the rule, you break the rule. So I can't beat around it. But my honest opinion, I wouldn't want we to get banned. You understand me? I wouldn't want it due to the fact that I can see the light at the tunnel. And several instances, obviously I was upset the other day when it comes on and people making rule as to how much people can actually come in and play and stuff. But those are different things. You understand me? Yes. But anyways, let me take a few comments, and I will try to take a few calls on this matter. Yes, Juras, big up yourself. Thanks for being here. I will open the Discord so mans like Juras and the man there can come in and give their take on the situation. We're going to try and make sure we get at least 30 minutes out of this conversation because I don't have enough time. Obviously, you know that maybe I'm a little bit busy. Yeah. Kevin, big up yourself. Thanks for being here. Guys, as you come in, please do smash a like button, share, and subscribe. Chris Smith, Chevis, how you doing, man? Hope all is well with you and the family. All right. Lance Blake, massive respect. We open the Discord so you can jump in when you want. All right. Let me set up the Discord right here so you can come in and give your take. All right, let me see in the post-match section. So in the post-match section, let me just drop the link so you guys can come in and chop it up, you know. Yeah, but at this point Dwayne Thomas, massive respect, big boss. Yeah, man, we out here, we out here doing the thing. We out here doing the thing. Yeah. So at this point, what say you? How would you look at it? Would you would you say if you have done would you say if you have done the crime and FIFA come, they are here, they are involved, so if they have found situation as to maybe what the other side said, that they're trying to create things to cause as much problems, and that turn out to be correct, what would you say? Should we get the ban? Or you still say they should try to work as best as possible to not ban us? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. The link is right there, guys, so make sure to join it. If it's after half an hour, I am not going to continue the stream, so I am very sorry. You're going to miss out on the conversation because I can't go a certain time, big bosses. All right. Yes. Triple E says, based on all I've heard, I'm not convinced enough information to say the voting process is not fair. All right. I don't know enough as well, so I will agree right there. MP, big up yourself. Thanks for being here. Martin, how you doing, man? Work it out, no ban. All right. So I guess a lot of people coming on to the side that I'm on, which is try to work it out as best as possible. You understand me? And what the next side trying to achieve, based on what they have stated, what are they truly trying to achieve? Because if it doesn't, all right, so for instance, I've heard people spoke on the matter, and I'm still struggling to understand what are they trying to achieve. You understand me? Because if you ban it, you don't achieve what you claim that you wanted, which is to win it and change football in Jamaica. I've heard their side, and their side is not the most creative side. You understand me? It's not the most. It's definitely not the most creative side. One second, Pastor. Let me try and get you in the stream itself. One second. Let me try and add that one. Yeah, because I should have the stream. One second, guys. Pastor is here, so I'm just trying to get him inside. All right, good. All right, so that should be the pastor. All right, one second. All right. So, Pastor, how are you hearing me well?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
All right, good,
Yes.
good, 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 good. So we're up and running. We are up and running. Big up, Warrior 777. Yes. So what we are hearing is FIFA stepped in, requested all documentation, included the documentations saying that illegal activities took place, hence why it was granted to stall it for 28 days at least. So with that, with that said, or you would look at it, because remember they granted the stoppage, they got the stoppage granted, so that means the person that looked over it clearly deemed it a stoppable offense.
Okay. Two things, JD. Good morning to all the persons in the chat and
Mm-hmm.
those on the stream. Two things. One, a matter of proper operational procedures, which would adhere to constitutional practices. And then a matter of law, which also speaks to governance, or if you want to say good governance. The FIFA statutes prohibit any affiliate or organization within the footballing member associations to go to what they call normal court or regular court. However, the injunction was sought by someone who was denied membership in the federation. So FIFA was literally forced. They didn't choose to. They didn't choose to enter into this debacle. They were forced to because the state court. Let me use Supreme Court for those persons who might not pick up as fast. I mean, I'm speaking to the court in Jamaica. Has found sufficient evidence to grant the injunction to facilitate further investigation leading to a ruling. So, with that in mind, FIFA cannot do anything to the Garel team, but they cannot allow the state court to make a decision finding criminal liability. Fraud at that level is criminal. And when the state intervenes now, FIFA cannot any longer hide behind their statute that says no member affiliate can take each other to court. Because once it becomes a criminal act, FIFA no longer has jurisdiction in it.
Okay.
As was the case with the Spanish president and the kiss of the player. Once it becomes a criminal act,
Mm-hmm.
FIFA don't have jurisdiction. So FIFA acts to save face and to keep the footballing matters within the footballing fraternity. Because here's what's going to happen. FIFA don't need to make a referral for criminal prosecution. That has already been under the microscope by the Supreme Court, to which the incident was taken. But they can settle the administrative deficiencies to say that they are not participants nor supporters of corruption. So I don't believe that FIFA is going to ban or even normalize anything or even institute a normalization committee because they have to protect the integrity of football administration.
Okay.
And they cannot be deemed to be going against the state as it pursues its investigation in criminalities, because that would open up a different can of worm.
All right. Fair enough, fair enough. All right. So let me just run through these comments and then we get straight back to Pastor. We had I just put something right here because I never saw that it was even in the Gleaner. Yeah. So Travis says RSA team, all of them should go to jail. They are trying to mash up Jamaica football. All will be the laughing stock of Jamaica when the process is over. All right. So Travis thinks that's gonna go one way. Walker, massive respect. Thanks for being here. Hope all is well with you and the family. JA is in the best position for another World Cup 2026. If any sensible people who care about football, I would rather work it out than get banned by FIFA. All right. Then we have JFF in the building. Massive respect, big boss. Hope all is well. Speaking from an observation perspective, I think there are fishy things from both sides. FIFA will just send an observant. All right. And then we have Travis again said RSA are very disingenuous people. I hear Dave Cameron saying on Sportsmax that Pat Garrell of Beach Soccer Association is not part of their team. All lies. All right. So he's saying that he heard people saying that the person that filed, or one of the persons that filed, are not a part of it. So some people trying to save face there. All right. So, but based on what we know, Pastor, I don't think they are going to get banned so easily. I think they're going to try and work out things. So with them, with FIFA will try their best to work out things, which I think you slightly agreed with. Yet,
Not, not slightly, not slightly, fully.
all
For
right.
FIFA to dissolve, for FIFA to ban Jamaica, no, because a person striving for membership brings a suit. Remember, Pat Garrell, and for those persons, because I heard the interview with the former West Indies cricket president, Pat Garrell was or is a supporter of RSP. However, she stepped away from her, what you would say, inclusion or position with RSP to file a suit as an independent. And that is why RSP could distance themselves from her, because they had an agreement or they had conversation that led to her stepping from being a supporter of them, even if she's still supporting from them, once that line is drawn that she is not a member of the RSP camp, and that line is publicly drawn across the viewer spectrum. She has not objected to RSP's utterances by my namesake, by all those who have spoken on behalf of RSP.
All right. So we have look at
So
we
it
have.
means that there's consensus where that is concerned. So even if the motive, and this is what people are confusing, even if the motive, JD, is incorrect from RSP, the fact that seeming criminality is the underpinning reason for the suit, it should not be tolerated by any society. The normalization of criminality. So I am not saying RSP is angelic, because if they're angelic, they might be fallen angels. But if their motive is even wrong, that does not excuse the criminalities that is suspected and which is being articulated within the federation.
All right, all right. So 1 second, Pastor. Let me get in. Remember we have a limited time, and so we want to get in everyone. All right. And so we have um Brian Mighty in the building. Brian Mighty, good afternoon. How are you doing?
Yeah, good afternoon, JD. I'm doing well. Good afternoon, preacher. Is this Mr. Blake? Lansley Blake?
The one and only.
Okay, good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon
Yes,
to the
sir.
persons who are listening. So I'm not gonna stay for the entirety. So I have a few things I want to say. I think I joined just in time to hear you explaining something about motive and those stuff. So my view on this whole election process,
Mm-hmm.
I am genuinely of the view that we are leaving the frying pan, going to the fire.
Mm-hmm.
There was another comparison that I wanted to use, but I'm not going to use it. But that's what I think is happening. So what I'm seeing taking place is politicking. So both sides are trying to use their political know-how to gain an advantage.
Okay.
Um,
Wow.
the conflict of which is being spoken exists on both sides, and I'm just going to give you a few of them. So a few things. So one, this constitution that we are all of us is killing up ourselves about was written by the JFF people, passed by the board, signed off on by all of them, including Raymond Anderson, who was the vice president of who is still the vice president of the JFF. Lest we forget, he is still the vice president of the JFF. He sat there and he agreed to it. In the original instance, all of them was planning to keep the football in an old boys club so all of them can remain in control. whatever happened and him never get him way or something not go how he want it, and him take up him marbles them and decide say I cry wolf. Now, 13 people used to vote for the JFF president, and then expanded to 56. But let's just be clear. It's been expanded to 56, but the same people who would have had the influence when the 13 people were voting, those same people have the same influence now. So let's look at it. So before they have 13 parishes, now the parish associations have 26 votes. So each of them get 2. Then them go to pillar 2. Them say clubs, tier 1, tier 2 for men and women have 1 vote each. That is what? 16 votes. All the people them who are connected to clubs are connected to parish associations, or they are connected in some other dealing. So all of them can influence. Same people them who could have influenced parish votes can influence club votes. You move down to affiliates. Coaches Association, Past Player, Beach, PFJL, me leave ISA for a while. The PFJL have 2 votes. You know who is the PFJL?
Mm-hmm.
The PFJL is made up of the 14 directors representing each of the 14 Premier League clubs. That's the PFJL. Here? So even though Chris Williams is the chairman, in answer to the directors of the PFJL, he's not a director. In answer to them, the 14 representatives from each of the clubs, who already 4 of them have votes in Pillar 2 and may even have people from clubs who work in parish associations. So, on both sides, there are people on Ricketts' team who can influence votes from many different spheres. There are equally people on Anderson's team that can. Danny Beckford is a vice president running Anderson's team. Mount Pleasant Academy have a vote in the Pillar 2. Danny Beckford is the general secretary for Mount Pleasant. He is the president for the Centre and the Faith that has 2 votes. Speed is running to be a director. Him have 2 clubs that have vote. Him is the president for the Coaches Association, so he can influence vote. Guyana and other people form beach football team. Guyana is running to be a vice president. Guyana is also a president, is also from a parish. Him can influence vote. What you call it? What the man name? Watson. The same thing, brother. Them can influence vote. Over on this team, we did on YouTube from the beginning of time, and we didn't know that Cataract was a delegate. We can go vote in the JFF election. Can represent the parish. Cataract is a member of a club in St. Thomas, RT's Football Club. You know who is the president of RT's Football Club? Wayne Thompson. The person who is on this slate, vying to be a vice president. Brother, the whole of the man, all of them conflicted, bridging. So, me not tolerate when one side come out and I say, boy, the man, them try this and the man, brother. The next thing, Pat Garrell and our team were protesting. Why are they carrying the JFF to court? They think it's the fight to vote for Ricketts. They are not being allowed because the people them who are on the board believe that they're going to support Anderson. So they're not allowing them on the board. And they want to get on the board because they want to get in the affiliate because they want to support Anderson. She's not carrying them to court because she wants to vote for Ricketts, brother. And also, this thing I'm hearing them talk about, there was a beach football team who used to go play a World Cup qualifier. Bro, they were not representing themselves. The Jamaica Football Federation used to enter beach football tournament, brother. The people them that were used to go and play, where they used to wear Jamaica gears, copper and umbrella gears them used to wear. And if I used to wear and it used to have the JFF logo upon it. So they were not a single affiliate representing themselves. They were representing the JFF. The coaches them were employed by the JFF. The players were called up by the JFF. So how can you come now and say, and brother, none of them, not the one where Bruce Gaynor farm, nor the one where Gary Lem have, none of them have been doing nothing for beach football, bro. They just want to have a talk in the election now, and they want to seek affiliation now because them can vote, brother. That is the reason why they want.
So Brian,
they want status.
So Brian, with all of it,
go ahead. So them only interested in being an affiliate now because they can vote. They are not interested because they want to help the beach football or them want for the development of beach football, brother, is vote them want influence. All of the people them where you see a fight. The Coaches Association, yeah, them formed from 2020, them become incorporated now, but them have an interest, them want to can vote. The Vinblen Coaches Association, when I have no certification course from the last time them do a course and give nobody certificate was JFF level 1 or level 2. That was from like 10 years ago, brother. Them a come around now because them want to can vote. So the whole thing when you see happen, brother, is just the people them being selfish and want to get them own way, brother. And when them can't get them own way, them come on YouTube, them go on Sportsmax, them go everywhere and go cry wolf from both sides, brother. Because when the Constitution was being written, all of them knew what they were doing, brother. All of them knew what they were doing. So don't come out now and come say, boy, I want their thief, or I want the corrupt, bro. You were all a part of the same organization that you are calling corrupt. You were up, Mr. Anderson was the vice president, brother. He served 5 separate presidents. He was even in there before Michael Ricketts, brother.
Can I ask you a question?
No, but
Can I ask you a question?
before you ask the question, he said he wants to finish because I wanted. Remember, people watching, you know. So,
No, man, stop. No, man.
all right. So with you said a lot of things right there, which I've captured a lot. All right. So you're educating the people, but FIFA involved now, you know. So what you think will become of this, Brian, based on your knowledge, and obviously you have been studying these things way more than all of us. What do you think will happen at this point?
Bro, I have no confidence in what FIFA is going to do because this constitution was passed in conjunction with the FIFA people them.
Okay.
They were here helping Ricketts and Anderson and them friend them to write the constitution. They weren't the only reason why them coming now is because the court thing come up, brother. If there was no court, this election with all of what we are talking about.
So
Injunction, election would have keep Sunday and today, it's not either win or Anderson would have win.
So so you say if FIFA find a problem with it in the foreseeable future, they should be liable to be held as a fraud society then, because that means they passed it under the premise as to how these guys run it.
Yes,
JD,
that's why
not pass it, but adopt it. Let's use the correct word. They adopted it. They adopted it. They didn't pass it. It was done by JFF and accepted and adopted by FIFA.
Yeah, but regardless of which word, you go ahead, Brian.
Them in coming up with the constitution. You know, hear them say
Brian,
time pass.
I agree. Brian, I did not disagree with anything that you said. Those are correct points. All of those are true. I have no contention with what you said. Yeah. So
but Pastor, but you never, Brian answered, and then I wanted to follow up, you know. Because people listening, you know, so they want to make sure they are educated as to what will happen. So there we clearly saw that FIFA passed the last one that they have written, and these guys went on to keep their election, or went on to start and dated their election. The election have not held due to the fact that these guys were called out via a official court. All right, so that's why they stepped in now. So I'm saying that if FIFA should go on and ban the present JFF at this point, they should be able to react, you know, because they can react and say, but you had looked at this paper and you passed it, and then after a court stopped us. You understand me? So I can see even if they turn out to ban or push out this current administration because of the situation, I can see this current administration can bring them back to court. So I could see this a long drawn out situation, Brian.
Yeah, but but let's say FIFA come in and decide to ban this administration, we're going to be on the search for two new candidates. Because Andy is the vice president of the JFF, him going with them too. Him think him going to be absolute. Not different from all of what he's saying. The people them is doing. Him is doing the better.
Brian, this was my contention with Anderson running against Ricketts. When you're doing that, the first thing you should do for anybody who is going to be looking on, thinking transparency and genuineness is that you would resign your position or relinquish your position as the vice president and go into the elections. So, him not doing so give credence to everything that you have stated item by item, that this is all about a power grab and nothing to do with the football as a product in Jamaica. And that is leveled on both sides.
Yeah,
However,
Pastor.
this, yeah,
Yeah, so finish.
yeah. However, what I believe a lot of people don't factor in is that even, let's say the three of us on the panel now, are in charge of taking the decision that the channel color should be blue. We're in charge of getting a color for the channel, and but two persons voted for the channel color to be green. When either of us speak, after that has been accepted, democratically, the Greens have it because two say green, one say blue. No one can say that my position was blue
Okay.
because we all agreed on a democratic process. So whatever the vote carries is the position on of all of the board members, despite my opinion had been different. And
Yes.
that
Pastor.
holds true
On point of
in
Pastor.
a mhm,
Pastor, on a point of order.
yes.
Before you were the pastor of your church, did you hold any other position in the church before you became the pastor of the church?
I'm an ordained elder and I served the church as assistant AY leader and assistant personal ministries director before.
So,
Okay.
So
Pastor,
I don't know. Okay, so I
pa-
don't know
pa-
what AY leader is.
Pastor
But
and Brian.
Adventist Youth Society leader.
So, Pastor and
okay.
Brian, I'm
Mhm.
getting information because clearly people watching the show and they are sending information in, and they are saying that FIFA literally fixed anything they did not like in the constitution and forced us to choose paths. All right, are forced. All right, yes. So that's
Okay.
exactly what it
All right,
is.
Jay, I soon come to that.
Yeah.
So Pastor, you are in the organization. Well, let me use a term we can relate to. Well, you say elder. All right. So you in the church, you are an elder, and there's a pastor preceding you, and there is a vote that when we collect the tithes and the offering, we must buy the pastor and his family a house. And whenever you are on the board, and 10 people decide that yes, the pastor has been at this church 50 years in dedicating life service to the church, and he must get a house, him and his family. And you and another person believe that no, a good book or whatever is saying this money must be used to help but the bridges in the church who need help. So them anyways, them decide and them say, okay, we put it to a vote and them say, go and buy my house, him and his family. You now being an elder, and that happened. Are you going to stay an executive as an elder, knowing that they did something that you thought, based on your principles, was immoral or wrong? Are you going to sit and say, boy, they won't vote me, so let me just stay and make them buy the man the house, him and his family, and then 10 years down the line, when somebody come now and say, wait, how is it that you buy a house for the man and his family? You going to come and say, boy, you know, so the 12 we vote, me never agree no, but because the rest of the next 10 of them vote, me just sit down and make it go. That sound like something
Firstly, the Seventh Day Adventist Church, I understand the analogy that you're drawing, but firstly, the Seventh Day Adventist Church does not operate like that. But
okay.
I'm going to
Let's say it
answer
is.
I'm going
Let's
to
say it
answer
is.
the analogy that you use. I'm just saying that Brian. I understood what you stated. I am making the disclaimer that the Seventh day Adventist Church, of which I am a part, does not operate within the module that you're using as an example. Full stop.
Yes, thanks.
I'm,
Yes, that's
I'm
good.
answering with based on your hypothetical that you have presented.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
I wanted it
yeah.
to be clear that I'm a minister of religion in the Seventh day Adventist Church, which does not operate as is your hypothetical that you presented.
Agreed.
Doesn't
Agreed.
operate that way. No.
Agreed.
The hypothetical that you presented, the elder is a voting board member. So on any decision that is taken to the church board, they do that. And I'm sticking to your hypothetical. Remember that. And so I'm only speaking with what you have suggested. He voted in a democratic process, but the opinion that was carried from the board is that they bypassed the house. So
Yes.
not then nor 50 years later is he being a responsible elder to publicly state, because then you're bringing the board into disrepute. Who were the persons that voted for or against that position? So
Would you
it
stay
is
on the board?
irresponsible.
Would
No,
you
no,
stay on
hold
the
on.
board?
No, hold on, Brian. I'm answering it in parts. I can't answer everything with one statement. You said several things. So I am saying, firstly, the elder is irresponsible whether at the end of that board meeting immediately or 50 years down the road to articulate who were the persons that voted for or against a decision that he supported or not supported. That is irresponsible on the elder's part. On the matter,
Okay.
on the matter of him staying or leaving the board, that is a personal decision that he can, in writing to the board, tender his resignation and cite the reason or reasons for his resignation. That then absolve him of all future decision. It doesn't absolve him of the board decision that was taken whilst he was a member. So any
Okay.
future decision it would have absolved him of. So
Agreed.
to bring your analogy home to Mr. Anderson, which is my contention with Mr. Anderson, the moment he published he was running for presidency, is this: for the 37 years you're a part of the organization, you are responsible for every decision that the board took, whether you were for or against it, because that is the democratically voted position. However, after you decide that you have just cause to run against the president, if you do not step away, you are also responsible for every other decision taken by the board subsequent to that. So, Mr. Anderson, whose team presents a kind of a picture that they can be absolved of the falling out with Sidela Mali, the failure of the negotiations with the girl team, and all of what has transpired is a farce and not even a good smoke screen, because Mr. Anderson is duly responsible for every decision the board takes whilst he's a member of the board. And that is why I agreed with what you said before in your first presentation. I agreed with every single point that you outlaid, because Mr. Anderson has not taken the responsible decision to say, I am no longer a part of the decisions made by the board.
Yeah, but Pastor, but you know what's the thing that kind of get to me? Like, me no me have a me no me have a like me have a short tolerance to people who do one thing and then come out and act like them no know them a do, or them a try to pull something over your eyes. So he's the
Define
vice president of the
hypocrisy.
JFF.
You just
This
define
man
hypocrisy.
this man served under 5 different presidents, you know, brother. Which means when the late Captain Burrell was there and moved the vote from 90 or 108 to 13 in order to control the JFF, he would have been there. And he must support him, because no president now have no vice president to now support him. That no make sense. Because that's the reason why now, when Mr. Anderson,
Brian, pause on that point. I have pastored in locales where you have elders who will vote for something in our board meeting. And after that board meeting is adjourned, then go outside with their friends and have their own meeting. And they are not, even though they voted to support it, they are not giving you one iota of support. So that statement is not altogether true that you just make. And that has been my
Pastor,
experience in more than one places. I am telling you that
hold
there
on.
are members.
Pastor, Captain Burrell of blessed memory, along with other people in the JFF, decide to remove the voting populace from 98 or 108 to 13.
Mm-hmm.
I put it to you.
Yes.
Him could not do that without having the support of the key people them. And I'm saying to you, remember, you know, Anderson was a VP under 5 president, which means he would have worked under Ricketts, Captain Burrell, Tony James, and I think Question Boxell and maybe somebody else. See him? Which so
Why 5 president is that he had Borrell twice.
Yes, but
yes, okay. Which mean that there would have been a point when Burrell was not president and he was vice president, and Burrell would have come in back and become president. I put it to you that Captain Burrell would not have kept Anderson around if he didn't felt or knew that Anderson would have supported him 100%.
Saying to you that Captain believed that does not mean that he has supported Captain in everything. That's all I'm saying. As long as Captain believe it, he's going to keep him around. That's all I was saying.
So you are telling me now that a man who was a man that has been working for 5 presidents, everything happened, he don't agree with, and remember, I know, people
I'm not telling you that. I can stop you right there. I am not telling you that.
Pastor, you're going down a different path, you know, from where we have the stream.
I'm not saying you are telling me. Yeah, I'm not saying you are telling me.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks for correcting me too. So I'm saying a man who has been the vice president under 5 different presidents or five different administration terms has sat there, and people have been accused in the JFF of being inept, corrupt, disingenuous, lack transparency, all them words that we are talking. From the beginning of time, people have been stopping the JFF of that. Long time. And from Ricketts time and from Captain time, a long time people have said that. And you sit there as a vice president who is beyond reproach, and you stay there under 5 president. You cannot tell me that, brother. You are just as culpable as all 5 of them.
All right.
Hold on, Pastor. Hold on, Pastor.
I
Pastor, I've waited 50 minutes for you to talk. All right, I had a 30 minutes program and he turned it into a 1 hour program. All right, Mr. Pastor, yes. All I'm saying is, Brian Mighty, you brought up some positive points or some powerful points. But at the same time, you know, if he's around so long, you still have to say that anything that was deemed good in the federation, which is not much, as to our eyeballs, maybe things behind the scenes, but everything that's out in the public, majority of them are pretty much bad when it comes down to the JFF. So you would have said that he should be blamed for those things, but also the few good things that happen as well, you know. He has been around a long time, so he should be getting credit for them as well, you know.
Yeah,
just to play just to play the devil's advocate.
I'm agreeing with you. I'm agreeing with you that he's to be credited for all good and all bad. But
yes,
in the instance of the JFF, the bad far outweighs the good. Therefore, all right. So the issue, JD, the issue that I'm having, you know, Mr. Anderson even went as far as to say, and even other people represent him too. People
Mm-hmm.
represent him say he's running for president because he's tired of being outvoted on issues that he doesn't agree with.
Oh, okay. That's
I've
his
heard
point of
people.
tackling. Okay. No, that
I've
is
heard
complete
people represent him for
ballocks,
that.
man. Complete
And
And I'm
ballocks.
Brian,
saying,
Complete ballocks.
I'm
and that
saying
is
you
why I
cannot.
answered the way I answered, Brian. That is why I answered the way I answered, because that cannot be anything. Mr. Ricketts, in your analogy, Mr. Ricketts had the option to crown himself in glory the moment he decided to run for president, to have relinquished his post as vice president. Once you're doing that, so you would not need to make the statement that you are not in agreement or you are tired of being outvoted. That statement alone diminish your image as a leader, because you are now publicly stating that you have not had your way, and that is why you're upset. That is a poor reason for you to be running for president,
Yeah, but
because you want to have your own way.
Pastor. So can we go back, Brian, to see if we could get like the functions and rules of the vice president to say, because we have to see if what he's saying is actually even true, you know. Because based on how Mr. Spade and others talked about it, the vice president had big roles for majority of the
Yeah,
years.
man.
So
They had 3 vice presidents.
yeah.
Them say, 3 of them are from, remember, but them say, Peter Reid, hey, we can show the organization, you know. So Peter Reid was the president of the St. Catherine FA. He left that post to become the vice president in charge of finance. When Peter Reid left St. Catherine FA, Elaine Walker Brown became the president. Just listening.
Mm-hmm.
Hena is the vice president in charge of marketing and logistics. And then them say, what name? Anderson, sorry, is the VP in charge of operations.
Okay.
And as far as I know, I also think he's the VP that is in charge of competitions, because I worked up Premier League club, and when the competition rule comes out for the competition, his signature or is affixed at the end of it.
Yes,
So I'm
yes, that
assuming
is
he
true.
has oversight in competitions too.
Yeah, man, you're correct.
So
You're
I
correct.
would say,
Correct. You're correct. You have research.
Go again?
No, go ahead.
You
We are
have
saying that you're
research.
correct. You're correct. You're
Fully
correct.
correct. We're supporting what you're saying. Go ahead.
Because he took credit for
Yeah,
that as
man.
well, you know, Brian. He took credit for that as well, you know.
Yeah.
Yes. So
No,
don't.
but I have a copy of the competition rules, and his name is signed at the bottom of it. Whether it's input it
Yes.
there or whatever, his name is signed to it. So
It
I would
is under
assume
his portfolio, Brian.
I would assume so, based on that whole explanation. But so that's what them say. So and someone just show you JD and what name? So Peter Reid is in charge of finance. He was a vice president before. He got take that role. Dennis Chung was the chairman of the finance committee. He moved and go become GenSec. Brother, all of the man them. It's just a big old boys club.
Brian,
Are-
Before you move on to the next point, though.
Pastor,
Here is
which next point me that move on to? But you know
no.
what?
I said Brian because
I'm
Brian,
going to continue
I
the show.
didn't think
No,
Brian was finished.
Pastor, I'm going to continue the show at 30 minutes. I had planned, you know, for do the show, and I told you that, you know. But since you are on the show, I'm going to do up to an hour and 20 minutes, and then after that, I'm not coming back tomorrow. You know, because it took up my time. All right?
No,
Yes,
you
that's all I'm telling you. Go
you
ahead.
cannot ditch,
But
the
before
African
going anywhere,
coffee shop tomorrow.
before we go anywhere, guys, please do hit the like button on the video, so get the visibility out there. I don't know how much likes is on the video. I haven't even checked, so do that for us. Obviously we have to talk about this matter because it's something that's connected to the Reggae Boyz. I don't normally just come out and do these videos because I got the information, and then after I saw that the information was even printed as well. You get me? So it's definitely a serious thing with the FIFA situation. So we wanted to talk about it and see where it could go. you know, and why the reason these guys are even going down that path. And see, it brought Brian Mighty here. Brian Mighty came and gave some strong points, you know. Yes, but it's shocking at this point, and it shows us that it doesn't matter what happened. Even though, look at this, you know, I don't want FIFA to step in, you know, but based on Brian explaining these two sides, and based on what I've known as well, no, everyone saying, look how, like, just because we're Jamaican, you know, all of us saying, you know, oh, bad the two side is, you know, but we're saying that we don't want to get banned. So, oh, we can fix the problem then. That is the big question to ask. So I want to start with Brian back again, because we all in the chat saying that they are bad, you know. So then why we are avoiding the ban then? And oh, we can fix it. Just give me the side of oh, we can fix it without getting banned then. Since both sides are equally as bad, are one maybe 45% to 55%, but it's not far off. Go ahead, Brian. And then we bring in past after. Because I'm confused, you know, because that's what I'm getting from everyone. But how can we go and fix it? You know? Brian look like he's busy. Maybe
Yeah,
you're
no
right.
man, I'm here. Sorry.
Yeah,
No man, I'm here.
you can approach that, Brian, because by your statement, you know, you're saying both of them bad, both of them set the same rules, and some are here for the longest time doing the same madness and causing problems. But
Yeah, so JD,
we don't want the ban.
what the reason why I'm kind of hesitant about saying that we need a ban and thing, because I know that the football doesn't necessarily stop at these administrators in terms of their home. And I know there are a lot of persons, even in the local Premier League, there are a lot of families who benefit from the local Premier League, whether it be match officials, players, vendors, other workers, etc., etc. There are other young footballers who are looking to use the football as an opportunity to get themselves out of some challenging situations, to say the least. And so I wouldn't necessarily call for a ban, because I don't know if I wouldn't want to disadvantage those persons who, you know, who are innocent in this situation, and the ban will affect them negatively. So I don't want that. However, based on my understanding, and I don't know everything, but if the normalization committee comes in, essentially what I get is that they are going to come and fix whatever issue. So if there was an issue with the voting process and delegates and whatever, they will come in and regularize that issue. However, once they are completed with that, the same people who are running in this election can come back and offer themselves to run. And there's nothing that can stop, unless FIFA decide that, hey, you did this, and the punishment for this is for you to be banned from being around football. So I don't know if, so I don't think for the issue to be solved, the country necessarily needs to be banned. However, the truth is, none of us know the full extent of what took place to bring us to this position, because when you talk to people from on this team, they are only telling you what people do to wrong them. And when you talk to Ricky's team, they are telling you what honest people has done to wrong them. So nobody is giving you 100% of what's going on. So it is possible that more things could have happened worse than what we and the public are being exposed to. And I think now that FIFA is in and requesting the documents, I guess they may be the only person who can really identify the problem in terms of all the stuff that happened. And but again, we have to be guarded by the fact that FIFA assisted in this whole constitution process.
Yes,
and they may not want to themselves as being a negligent father.
Thank you very much, because that's why I brought the statement to you and said I got the confirmation that FIFA run in line, because remember FIFA was here with them, you know. So in order for them to put on this election, because remember the election was even past due at first, you know, Brian. It was past due at first, you know. So clearly they were working on something to get it in order. So that's why I'm surprised. Pastor saying that what he said again, the exact word he said I should use when I'm saying FIFA worked with them to get everything passed. But that's what the confirmation I've gotten. So that's how it works. They never sent it in. They worked with them to get it passed. So you're right, Brian. You're right. It's not the other way around, Pastor. It is exactly that way.
JD, JD,
Mm-hmm.
if you ask any constitution lawyer, they're going to tell you this. FIFA, as the parent body, cannot be deemed to influence the formation of the national constitution. FIFA send their people as observer and what you would call resource personnels in the constitution development. So FIFA did not, in essence, put in ideas in the development of the constitution. They were there present to ensure the constitution, the points for the constitution was properly ventilated and developed. So they
Yes.
were present, and having adopted the constitution means that the constitution satisfied the FIFA statutes. So FIFA cannot be absolved of the constitution inadequacies because they adopted it. But you cannot legally prove that FIFA had any physical role in the compilation or development of the document, the constitutional document. You understand what I'm saying? So that is why I said it the way I said it. From the inception of the constitution being formed, FIFA observer or facilitator or resource personnel was present to ensure that they operated within the FIFA stipulations, not to give them ideas as to what to put in the constitution. And that is if you ask any constitution lawyer, they are going to tell you that. Because if FIFA can be found to build a constitution for any nation state, they then cannot hold that nation state responsible for the inadequacies of the constitution. It doesn't swing both ways like that, JD. So that's what I was saying. They were present and they are responsible because they adopted it. But they were not the constructors of the constitution. They did not participate in constructing the constitutional
But Pastor, we
positions.
never said they constructed it. We just
No,
said they were there
you
to
use
see
the word.
to get multiple.
No.
Pastor, it's different
You
than when
use the word.
Pastor. It's different when someone sends something to you, Brian, and you get to look at it after the fact. But if you are there during the process, you are looking at it and you have multiple opportunities to say that this is not right or this is right. That is what I'm talking about, Pastor. You understand me? So
Only as it relates. No. This is not right. Only as it relates to it falling in line with the FIFA statutes.
yes, that's
Because
what I'm
each
talking about.
member state is allowed to develop their constitution to suit their environment or their practices. But it has to fall within the FIFA thing. And that is why FIFA just adopted it. And it has several loopholes and inadequacies, But because this is what satisfies the Jamaica situation, FIFA adopted it.
Okay,
And
okay.
that's how the legal ramblings are are confirmed or considered, JD. So it's just I only ask you to be mindful of the word. When you say help, it means that you're participating in the um number one, number two, or you name like number four, and you influence them to change number four. No, that's not the role of the FIFA persons that were there.
Okay, okay, fair enough, fair enough. Yes, so, but all I'm saying is they had enough time to look at it, to see if we had any things that would have potentially caused problems. So all we're trying to say that the
adopted it. They saw them and adopted it. So FIFA know everything that is wrong with it.
Okay, Pastor. Okay, so based on what I'm hearing, guys, based on what I'm hearing, it looks like it's going to be people trying to draw it out, but it might still go on because it still comes down to if FIFA finds things and find it deemed okay to go on, yes. And obviously the opposition would get enough time to get themselves structured. And if these guys allowed to get those votes, then maybe that's how it is. But it's a lot of things going on. Damn, so I'm gonna just try and collect as much information, Pastor, to return. All right, that's what I know. I still you look like we're missing a lot out of it, as what Brian said. It look like we're missing a lot out of it. So all I'm saying is I don't want to get into these voting processes and stuff. As what we have heard from Brian and most people, both sides are not good. All right, so we're not here to influence any side as to as yet. All right, because if we deem the one side is definitely doing the best thing, we have to influence you to vote for that, you to support that side, because you can't technically vote, but you can support it, and by the feedback and paying for things and willing to support things, it still helps. All right, so you maybe can't vote technically, but if you can support a constitution, it is always big. You get me? So fans always have the power. They still always have the power just the same, even though people don't look at it like that. I heard Mr. Speed talking last time and saying that it's the shareholder, like the persons them on the board, that they have to kind of go towards first. And I still have to tell Mr. Speed that the actual fans them are still the number one, because the shareholders that you're talking about are the persons for the constitutions, Brian Mighty. But if in the constitutions, in the locations like the parish councils, if those guys can't get players to play and people sponsoring them in those locations, how are they going to deem successful? So it's still the people them are the main shareholders. They are just a little bit down and they come through the parish councils. You realize that
Jamaica is
Brian
Jamaica
Mighty?
is the only place that don't see the fans. Jamaica is the only place that
No,
don't see the
I
fans as
don't
the main
know.
shareholder.
Pastor, he never said that. He never said that, but he said like he wanted to say that other guys and that had the vote, and they pushed and spent their money because they are the shareholders. But I'm saying that the fans actually do more. They spend their money, but also support and also involve inside those parish councils areas to play and push their kids through. So they are the ones that make everything possible. So we should always start with the fans, regardless of who's saying that they own the clubs, them are there, they have academies and those stuffs. They are not first choice.
That's
The people is always
the
first choice for me.
the single thing that the JFF will not do is what you just said. And I'm going to say it again. Jamaica is the only place where the fans are not seen as the number one shareholder. Jamaica is everybody else in the world regard the fans because it is the fans that are the mover and shaker. There is no parish association without fans. There is no team without fans. The fans are the only constant in every level of sports. But Jamaica see the
Work on that
administrators
one,
and
on.
those their body as different as the major
Uh,
shareholder.
All right, big boss. So that's the pastor's take. Pastor just always want to beat one set. All I'm trying to say, I'm just trying to correct Mr. Speed said you could look at it a different way, because it's several times you can look at it, and get different opinions on it. And I think that the first way to look at it, as how you looked at it, maybe come off a little bit wrong to a lot of people. So you have to fix those things. Yeah, but in the future, let's see what happens. But at this point, FIFA is is involved, and they have requested all documentations on both sides. All right, so the good and also the bad. So the side that they were here to oversee, they are going to collect back those papers. So if they missed anything in it, and they are going to get the next the injunction and also people's statements as to what they're blaming the other side for. The maximum time it can be delayed for is 28 days. All right. So if it passes 28 days, Brian, what will happen after that? You have an idea?
No, I think so. I think the election cannot happen before 21 days, But I do think there is something in the constitution that says before election is called, you have to give notice. So,
Okay.
but so yes, so I don't know. I think you have to give like 60 days notice or either 45 to 60 days. I don't know the exact number, but
okay.
yeah, man, yeah. So them Mr. Ricketts could just get up today and say tomorrow election. You can't do that.
Okay,
Yeah,
so what you're saying it can't be held before 28 days. Like 28 days has to pass. Then they have to give a date.
Yeah, and then they have to give a date, and when they give that date, I think there's a period of notice that should be given. I think it's either 45 or 60 days. But what I'm saying is, I'm not sure if because they would have given a period of notice already, and then the election was not kept because of the injunction, then they may have to do it again. So I don't know if they must go through that process again. But I know that before the election is called, them have to give. As me say, them could just come and say, tomorrow election. Them couldn't do that.
So we are saying pretty much we can't have the election within at the end of this month. Or the start of February. It will be after that, because no care what we do, we have to give them at least a reasonable time to get themselves together, right? Because they have to resell themselves.
Yeah, and the truth is that them we call it now. Folks would want. I think it's fair enough that some notice be given. I don't know if the notice is going to be the same period that it was before, or it is a situation. And remember, the stay was granted in order for the judge to, or another judge to look into this whole issue of them not being an affiliate and whatever the case is. So who knows? Maybe if that matter is completed before the 28 days, then maybe the other side can, or the JFF can go and get the injunction lifted.
Yeah.
Or if it is not completed within that time, then maybe they may seek an extension of the injunction. Because Jamaican court system is not the most efficient. Like, you can have matters in front of the court for months. So
yeah,
I'm not holding my breath.
Brian,
After 28 days, this matter will be resolved.
So, all right, good. So within that, if it's not resolved in that time, everything can continue as once FIFA don't say they ban them. Because people will ask these questions. So once FIFA said don't say Jamaica is banned for this time, we can continue with our games and everything in the period when these things are getting started.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so and Mr. Ricketts will still be the president unless FIFA decide that no, they might have some normalization.
Okay. So, we just want to clear that up.
Even with the old, I'm telling you, even with the old normalization, it's not somebody from like directly from FIFA. They will just go and appoint somebody to run the federation.
Okay.
Yeah, so the normalization is FIFA is going to appoint a normalization committee, which may very well comprise of people who have their own biases anyways. So that's why I said this whole FIFA thing is just it's a bit strange, if you ask me.
Okay.
Just the way how the team operate. It's like it's strange. That's the word I can use to describe it. It's
all right.
Yeah, it's strange. Yeah.
All right. So thanks, Brian. We're going. I'm gonna give Pastor. I'm gonna give him make a finish. But people, smash the like button. I'm gonna just let Pastor say his final word. Brian says his final word, and we have to run. Obviously, maybe tomorrow more information will come up, and I can come back. But obviously I'm busy as well doing the Afghan to learn as much about actual football around the world as well. You get me? Brian Jane says Cataract is not doing this for grant. He's just saying that okay. Why I don't know. I don't listen to Cataract. I don't even know if Cataract's still alive. Yes. But I heard you guys telling me that he's involved in this situation, and I don't know that human being, so I prefer not to speak, Yes, so go ahead, Pastor. Oh, Brian gone. So, Pastor, give a final point. Thanks, Brian, to come and clear up as much things. And thanks everyone that gave their input as well, because persons sent in information as to how we are running the show, and we got certain things cleared up and stuff. So, I'm just hoping from my side. I'm just hoping that everything's sorted and we can truly have someone win it, due to the fact that you will always have people crying foul and stuff. I think even if someone won, it's gonna still be the same situation, but at least we want to have someone in charge so we know where we're going, rather than having this limbo thing going and then people over one side saying, oh, maybe they would have won it, and people backing them and all sorts of foolishness. You understand me? We want to just know who is the winner, and we can move on from there. Yes, go ahead, Pastor, and then we finalize it.
Remember the reason for the election to be the 14th of January was that the JFF absolved the time frame for them to execute or implement all the things that the newly adopted constitution entailed. So they took up the whole of that time and waited until they got to the last day or last week when the election should have been called. So they would have been required to declare election 60 days prior to that last day. But they waited until the very last week to declare election, which is mandated a 60-day period. And that pushed them because for the election to be held in October, as is constitutionally binding, they would have needed to give the notice from in August or late July to say that the election would be in October, right? So having made the declaration in October, the 60-day period that they have to give push the election into January. So they went outside of the festive season, and it ended up at January 14. Now, as Brian said, the court gave an injunction which would span 28 days. No judge is going to be irresponsible to come back outside of the time that the judge himself or herself gave. So the judge will give a ruling within the injunction time. Whether at the end or prior to the end, the judge's ruling will come within that time. Now, I am not sure, even if it is even in the Constitution, that when the court gets involved, because it's the court grant the injunction, so I don't know if it is the court's responsibility to grant the time frame for the election, or it is going to be reverted to the
I think
incumbent.
it has to go back to remember the injunction was to get FIFA involved to stop this thing, That was the injunction. So after that, then
Yes.
FIFA have to take up the responsibility to come and fix the problem. If
To
the problem
sort out
doesn't
the
fix,
election.
yes, so if the problem doesn't
The
fix,
election,
that's
yeah.
when you can go back to the courts again. You understand me?
So the
But
28 days would push us to early February. And then if they are going to grant, they are going to now say, okay, so we will have the election. That can take as much as 60 days again. So you're looking at April, end of April, as a possible date for the election. It can be before because they may not choose to grant the 60-day again, since there was a date granted already, only to be interrupted by the court. Now, during that time, all of the games, this FIFA schedule would continue, excepting where FIFA would have taken a decision. And we have not heard that they have taken any decision just yet, except for their intervention where they have asked for the documents that they have asked for. So everything continues. Mr. Ricketts still remains the president. The administration that presently exists still is running football in Jamaica. So Mr. Anderson is still a vice president. So, to finish off, since you're going away, what we were saying is that Anderson, despite within his capacity as vice president, having done good work under his portfolio, cannot be absolved of everything, good and bad, that the JFF administration presently is responsible for, because he is a voting member of the present failing JFF. So he has not done himself no favors by not resigning. He is the same thing as anything you call Ricketts, you are able to call Anderson.
And maybe even worse as well, because as you know, he
And
was here from
maybe
a while
worse,
back now.
yes.
So if you consider the next person as bad as what you would consider Mr. Ricketts had, as you would have considered him as double bad than Mr. Ricketts due to the fact that he's around both of them. All right.
Mr. Ricketts, he is 37 years.
Pastor, guys, we have 200 people in the chat and we have not gotten 200 likes on the stream. So if you have a time, please do it like button. We're running a little bit short, but let me just read out these super chats because people pay their money, so I can't not read it out. Mr. United says, wake the town and tell the people that Drew Ross went to Miami for a nose job. He wake from sedation with a broken nose and a doctor cut. What's up with Juras and Mr. United in the chat? What kind of fight going on right there? Because that don't seem like something with the situation,
Violence.
Kush says judge passed the case to another court to be taken care of. Markland says, my solution, JD, is FIFA ban the current administration, including Ricketts, Spade, Anderson, and Chung, aka 3-card man. So who you have in charge? Who you have in mind to replace them? Because you have to have some solution. You can't just go down the path of, oh, this is that, and we don't want anything else. Or are we going to run football? The players them will just turn up and play football? No, it can't work. It can't work because FIFA have to have someone that they can conversate with. It take a week to arrange Congress and the election after the judge eject beach soccer. All right. The man them no want no meds, no want all no meds. Okay. All right, and then Brain Jane, massive respect for the super chat. We are coming your way. All right, I don't know what you're saying there. He's just weird, Raymond do a lot of good work with the JFF. What Raymond do wrong? Frederick Miles, what people trying to say, because Raymond himself, because he spoke out of his mouth, he can't directly state that, oh, I have done this. He was just pretty much saying he's a yes man that ran around and had no physical power. So he wanted some power to make some changes, or he tried to allude to the fact that to say that, okay, some of the bad things them that happened, I couldn't influence it so much, hence why it happened, but I wasn't involved with it, or I never really in league with it. It's just because I had to go with it. You understand me? So that's the reason why that's the premise he's trying to run on. But people saying that no, you can't say that, because why you could have just resigned. Why are you still there talking about you have no power but you're still there? You understand me? It makes no sense. If you're still there and you never had the power because they construct it a way that you have no power. All right, then you leave. Then you just leave. Nothing else. You just leave. But you're still there, so you have to take the blame for several administration. That's what people saying. So he was there before Mr. Ricketts, and he's there with Mr. Ricketts. So if people deem the last federation as administration as bad, that means he would have been double bad, because he would have been here with this one and the one before. And that's what people saying, and I thought that they're fair to say so. Skillish says Raymond offered Craig Butler a position. That's the sin he committed. So, oh, you love Leon Bailey so much, and you're saying that he committed a sin to offer Craig Butler a position. Wow. uh, Black Specimen says, JD, I wouldn't put so much faith in FIFA stepping in. No, they have already stepped in, Black Specimen, yes. FIFA was also called in to get rid of the current board in Suriname, and yet they didn't allow yet they didn't allow the current board to leave. Oh yeah, but that's what I'm saying. They are gonna fix some policies, at least, you know. But remember, Black Specimen. The Suriname one was slightly different, you know. Remember, it was the girls them walked off, you know. But these guys went to court separate and saying that fraudulent activities took place. So that's a little bit different, Black Specimen. It's a little bit different. So maybe they might just jump to step two instead of step one, because what Suriname had needed resolution. All right, or it could have continued with resolution. Obviously, we had the protesting and stuff outside, so clearly the fans never wanted no resolution. They wanted them to just step aside. But FIFA deemed it as, oh, it's possible to solve the situation. But here is an election, and you have a next party waiting in the wings. All right. Did you hear that the SVB got rid of Aaron Winter? I don't know what the hell these guys are doing. Oh, that is definitely sad. After the team started to play good and they decided that they're gonna move away from it, that is definitely sad. Wow. Okay, I never know about it. Thanks for the information, man. I'm gonna check it up, and maybe I can drop one or two videos out there. You know, when I do have the time, I need to report on a lot of things. JFF don't love mama woman. Okay, Frederick Miles. Frederick, I don't know what you're talking about right here. All right, so Pastor, thanks. Brian, thanks, and everyone that came in. Massive respect for supporting the program. We can't go the full 2 hour, 3 hours, but I think we have gotten over all the points. FIFA stepped in, requested all the documentations. So the ones that are aligned with the election, and also the ones that caused the injunction, and what is the additional stuffs that that people said. You know, so all of those things will be forward to FIFA, and they will have to come up on on a situation. All right, so Eddie Guna said he's Team RSA. So make sure you click this in, people. All right, make sure you click this, because Team RSA should be the team of Mr. What's the brother name again? Mr. Anderson. All right. So Eddie Guna is Team Anderson. So that's what he's saying. All right. All right. Eddie Guna. All right. Hope all is well with your brother. All right. But anyways, and Brain says Team Sir Speed. And Juras corrected me and Raymond because I know you're not supporting Raymond. RSA stand for again. They should. Eddie Licky Med. Guys, stop doing things for a mad. If you don't truly believe it, don't put out those energy out there. So Eddie, you're gonna get a beating. He changed his mouth to Team Ricketts. All right. So people, take care and walk safe. Hopefully we can get some more clarity. What I'm going to do, I'm going to try seek some clarity, and then I can maybe bring a different video to you in the week, because I'm still trying to twist up some things. Tomorrow is my little kid's birthday. I was working the whole afternoon after finishing video. Yeah, so that's why, so man's busy out here. Yes. God bless you, says Team Jamaica. No Ross Ricketts are man. All right. Yeah, man. Team Jamaica comes first. Team Jamaica comes first. All right. Owen, big up yourself. Tycoon. Massive respect, everyone that passed through. I've done a separate video, guys, on Shamar Nicholson and also Macy Greenwood. You can go and check that out. Check that out. That is just pure football. That's what we love. So, but we still had to give you this video because we saw the information and I wanted to pass it by you and follow it up if needs be. Yeah. So, Pastor, give your take, big boss. Again, your final take. Big up Frederick Miles. Thanks for that, man.
Birthday tomorrow, Gemma. I hope I see a deer in the cinema for send for your birthday.
Yes. So she get new computer, new iPad, our entire room aside from our bed, which I put in computer desk, library cabinets, wardrobe. I had to make all of that today, so that's why I was extremely busy, Yeah.
Yes.
Shaquille Cairo packed his bag and bag gone back to Suriname from MPA. Oh wow! So what happened? Cairo is a very good player. So why would he sign for Mount Pleasant and then pack to go back? Wow. Yeah. So yeah, man, I was working hard and I'm gonna make sure she have a good day tomorrow. So if I miss Afghan or miss Jamaican contents, you guys have to understand. I'm very busy besides YouTube, So people have to understand, all right?
If you attend to Gemma and don't show up, we won't count it that you miss Afghan. But if you try to sell us no unicorn meat and use Gemma as excuse, your head is on the chopping block. So let me publicly state that. Gemma come first, but you're not going to use Gemma as excuse. Make sure, say, if you don't turn up, it is because you're attending to Gemma. Otherwise, good.
I am so done with Owen. The receding airline beating you bad. Old age, my boy. Brother, I don't know where you see receding airline. My ear just trim. You're just making up stories. You have a problem, Owen? Yeah, I have to, Owen, Omzo. They are the two worst commenters. The two worst comment. Me tired of them. Yes, and Jason, me tired of Jason too as well. Jason maybe worse than them. No, them worse than Jason. Yes, but Jason third. Omzo and the one Owen, they are the two worst. But yeah, man, tell them, man, oh God. Don't worry yourself, man. You are not on camera, so no one see a airline receding or whatever you want to call it. All right? Yeah, man. Thank you. God bless you. Just disrespectful. The one Owen, man. That's why sometimes I don't even bother come here, man. I'm tired of some of them man here, man. So people, take care. But ain't no more talking with. I'm just done, because I came here to report something, and Owen, him have a problem. He has to be talking about something, some foolishness. If that has nothing to do with what Pastor, I'm telling you, these guys, I'm so done with them. We are here talking about election. So, what my airline have to do with election? That makes no sense, Pastor?
Well, the incumbent is bald headed, maybe because of hair receding hairline. The challenger is also big head and bald head because of hairline. Possibly because of hairline. I don't know. I don't know. So maybe they're
Oh
just
my
tying in
God.
that into the hairline thing. I don't
You
know.
know, you know, me go full cranky. Cranky, guys, you can still see here on my head. Cranky ball to his skull. and Cranky still have some Vaseline on his head, because Cranky has no ear. I don't know what kind of Cranky don't trim his ear. Cranky just have a skull. Okay, Owen
JD,
is a bit of my body. Owen, just leave me head alone. Leave me ear alone, because nothing
JD,
do wrong with my
JD,
hairline or my ear, brother.
do
You
not
bad
be
mind my
found
ear, brother.
liable. Do not be found liable of any disparaging remarks about a fellow YouTuber. Because Cranky, I hear in very short order, will have his own channel. So you cannot be describing the man head in a stream where he's not there to defend himself or his head.
Yeah, Cranky, you gonna
Please,
call me a
you are
bad
going
name.
to be liable. Yes, you are going to be deemed libelous for such statements.
All right, so people, I'm gonna leave it. So take care of yourself. No one has any lace front. No one trying to show act like they're young. So Owen can talk all he wants. No one balling their heads. My head is clearly okay. My earline is clearly okay. He can talk all he wants. Yes. All right, so I will just leave it alone, people. When you take care, yeah, man. Owen, mash up the show. People, take care of yourself. Stay safe. Tomorrow or Wednesday, we will be back with both coverages. Afghan on the Wemaxit channel, and also Reggae Boyz content, because our Reggae Boyz content don't stop, because the players them don't stop, and we are a football analysis channel, so the drama don't really affect us so much. Even if Jamaica gets banned, it don't really affect my channel, because we do Concacaf contents and also Reggae Boyz Abroad, a series that I've built, and it looks like that is going to be the standalone series, because people playing football all they want. So please do hit the like button, share, and subscribe to the channel. We are how much that is now? How much? 750 away from 10,000. So get the subscription up and running. We will try and follow these stories, but still put on our analysis at and come forward. Stop. Don't worry about the earline. All right, leave them alone. So take care and have a nice day, people. Bye bye.